coach. You have some previous relationships with JDB, obviously.
Yep.
You've been in that system as far as that goes. Are you more of a gap guy or a zone guy? How does that play into it as a personnel thing?
I think we're going to have a good mix of both, and I think that's a great thing about this offense is that it's got all those components in there, and regardless of what we feel each week, or kind of depending on our personnel and kind of where we're at and what we fit through the best, we can kind of hammer it home that week. And so I think that's a great thing about it. And regardless, it's always going to be attacking style coming downhill, whether it's inside zone or zone type schemes or gap type schemes. But I love gap schemes as a way to get some extra physicality, whether that's GT, GY counter, but then also using our tight ends and to lock the box and let those guys insert on some backers. So I love all those.
Music to my ears, he's calling GY counter. The big uglies is always a conversation. It's like air conditioning. You only notice them if they're not working. Is that kind of the mindset going into it as far as practice goes, being the unsung heroes, and how does the selflessness of the position kind of play through the room?
Well, they're the unsung heroes, but we also got to have them be the leaders in the locker room. And so I think that's the biggest thing is we're always trying to develop leaders, not only in our room, but then making sure that we spread that, because we got to lead the physicality part of it on the team, whether that's O-line, D-line, it all starts in the trenches. So, we're looking for guys, and I feel like we have a bunch of great veteran leaders on our team right now as far as in the O-line room, and guys that are hungry to go out and push. And so that's what we're going to be continuing to build. But they've got to be the leaders on the field and making sure that people see them how they work, but they bring that physicality, and people know that they're going to, regardless of how that outcome is that day, they're going to make sure they know they got hit that day.
Kind of a wonderful blend as far as youth goes and experience now with this new room. You brought in some great additions as far as the transfer portal. How do you kind of keep development at the forefront of what you're doing, but also try and keep the guys that are older up to speed with the new offense?
Yeah, I think that was key. Like you said, we needed to add some experience and some depth of some veteran guys that have played, whether it's JUCO level or in the collegiate levels. But we needed to bring in that competition. And I think the biggest thing is we've got to have competition, because iron sharpening iron, and those guys they're gonna get it a little more when they know somebody behind them is pushing them. And I think that's the only way we're going to do it. And we just needed to see bodies, and we needed to see people and how they're fit. I've told them from the jump, hey, where we start with you right now may not be where you finish. We're looking to see where guys go and where they fit in and how they fit into the scheme and what we're looking to do. But I think that's got to be a key. It's going to be a development in guys, but we're also going to rep the heck out of things over and over. What we do, we've got to do it better than what the defense is going to do, and so that's going to be key.
When you talk about offensive linemen, the communication, especially pre-snap, is key, and that comes with on the field knowing each other as well as off the field. Have you been able to figure out how much this group has bonded together? I know they went over to Hauser's house to watch some playoff games, and he's got to have that communication with the offensive line as well. Are they getting to know each other?
Yeah, I think we've got a really good group. The guys, the new guys you mentioned that we brought in, they've brought them under their wing from the jump and helping them out and taking care of them. And so I think we've got a great. They all get along really well. My family's just now we're getting unpacked at the house right now, and so I'll eventually get them over to my house and get a chance to let them hang out and be around me and my family in a kind of a relaxed setting, and that as that goes. But I think the communication is very well in our room. Our guys get along well, and the communication and Coach Houston and those guys have done a really good job of the culture on the team and having those veteran leaders that help bring the new guys into the mix.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, absolutely.